When a defending champion starts trading future assets just to find cheap talent replacements, are we witnessing smart asset management or the beginning of a franchise meltdown? The mighty have fallen, and it's happening faster than anyone anticipated. The Boston Celtics, who just months ago were celebrating their 2024 NBA championship and seemed positioned for sustained success, are now scrambling to make moves that would have been unthinkable during their title run. We're not talking about minor roster adjustments or depth signings. We're witnessing a franchise in full-blown survival mode, desperately trying to navigate salary cap hell while maintaining some semblance of competitiveness. The latest chapter in this unfolding drama? Reports suggest the Celtics are seriously considering trading up in the NBA draft to select Cedric Coward, a guard from Washington State who could provide depth if they're forced to trade away established veterans like Jrue Holiday. This isn't just draft strategy, this is damage control disguised as team building, and it reveals just how quickly champions can become cap casualties in today's NBA. The salary cap prison that's destroying a dynasty. Let's be crystal clear about what's happening here. The Celtics aren't exploring draft trades because they've identified a hidden gem they absolutely must have. They're exploring these moves because they're trapped in salary cap purgatory, facing the dreaded second apron that could cripple their flexibility for years to come. The second apron isn't just a financial inconvenience, it's a franchise killer. Teams that exceed this threshold face severe penalties, including restrictions on free agent signings, limitations on trade flexibility, and reduced draft compensation. For a team trying to maintain championship-level talent, these restrictions are absolutely devastating. Brad Stevens, the architect of Boston's recent success, now finds himself in an impossible position. His top priority isn't improving the roster, it's getting under the second apron before these penalties destroy the franchise's long-term prospects. That's why we're hearing about potential trades involving proven veterans and draft day maneuvering for relatively unknown prospects. The cruel irony is that the Celtics are facing these constraints precisely because they built a championship team. Success in the NBA comes with a price tag, and Boston is about to pay it in the most painful way possible. Cedric Coward. The Band-Aid solution enters Cedric Coward, the Washington State guard who's become the symbol of Boston's new reality. Coward isn't a lottery talent or a future all-star. He's a solid college player who might be able to contribute in a limited role. In normal circumstances, he'd be a nice depth addition for a team looking to round out their roster. But these aren't normal circumstances for the Celtics. If they're forced to trade Holiday due to salary constraints, Coward could represent their primary solution for guard depth. Think about that for a moment. A team that just won the NBA championship might be replacing a proven veteran with a college prospect because of financial limitations. Coward's college numbers are certainly respectable. Last season at Washington State, he averaged 17.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.7 assists while shooting an impressive 55.7% from the field. His ability to rebound from the guard position and knock down shots could make him valuable in the right system. However, there's a massive difference between college production and NBA readiness. Coward would be asked to contribute immediately if Holiday is traded, which puts enormous pressure on an unproven prospect. The Celtics would essentially be gambling that a late first-round pick can help maintain their competitive window. The draft trade mechanics and costs currently holding the 28th pick in the draft, the Celtics face a common problem. The player they want probably won't be available at their selection. This creates a dilemma that perfectly encapsulates their current predicament. Moving up in the draft typically requires trading future assets, additional draft picks, young players, or cash considerations. For a team already facing salary cap constraints, giving up future flexibility to acquire a single prospect represents a significant risk. The mathematics are brutal. The Celtics would be trading future assets to move up and select a player who might be able to replace the production they're losing through salary cap-motivated trades. They're essentially paying twice, once to shed salary by trading proven veterans and again to acquire potential replacements through draft maneuvering. This strategy reveals the cascading effects of salary cap management in today's NBA. One financial constraint leads to another, creating a domino effect that can quickly spiral out of control. Teams find themselves making moves they never would have considered under normal circumstances. The Jrue Holiday dilemma, the elephant in the room, is Holiday's future with the franchise. The veteran guard was instrumental in Boston's championship run, providing elite defense, playoff experience, and crucial leadership. Under normal circumstances, he'd be untouchable on a contending roster. But salary cap mathematics don't care about championship contributions or locker room leadership. If Holiday's contract becomes a luxury the Celtics can't afford, they'll be forced to find creative solutions, like drafting Coward as a potential replacement. This situation highlights one of the NBA's most cruel realities. Championship teams often can't stay together not because of performance issues or personality conflicts, but because of financial constraints. The same success that brings championships also brings expensive contracts that eventually become unsustainable. If Holiday is traded, Peyton Pritchard would likely step into a starting role, with Coward providing backup depth. This represents a massive downgrade in terms of proven production and playoff experience, but it might be the only financially viable option. Stevens' impossible balancing act. Brad Stevens deserves credit for building a championship team, but now he faces perhaps his greatest challenge as an executive. He must find ways to maintain competitiveness while navigating severe financial constraints that threaten to gut his roster. The Coward situation perfectly illustrates Stevens' dilemma. He's not looking for the best available talent. He's looking for the best available talent that fits within his financial parameters. That's a completely different evaluation process that requires different priorities and compromises. Stevens must also consider the long-term implications of every move. Trading future draft picks to acquire Coward might solve an immediate depth problem, but it reduces the franchise's ability to replenish talent in future years. Every decision creates ripple effects that compound over time. The broader NBA implications, what's happening in Boston, should serve as a cautionary tale for every NBA franchise. The salary cap rules that were designed to promote competitive balance can actually destroy championship cores if teams aren't careful about long-term planning. The Celtics situation proves that even the most successful franchises are vulnerable to financial constraints that force difficult decisions. Championship windows can close not because of poor performance, but because of economic realities that make it impossible to keep winning teams together. This creates a perverse incentive structure where teams might be better off avoiding certain types of success if it leads to unsustainable salary cap situations. That's not healthy for the league or for fans who want to see the best teams stay together and compete for multiple championships. The human cost of cap management behind all the financial calculations are real people whose careers and lives are being affected by these moves. Holiday, if traded, would be forced to leave a championship situation, not because of anything he did wrong, but because of mathematics beyond his control. Coward, meanwhile, could find himself thrust into a situation where he's expected to contribute immediately on a team with championship expectations. That's enormous pressure for any young player, let alone one selected late in the first round. These human elements often get lost in discussions about salary cap management and roster construction, but they're crucial to understanding the full impact of these financial constraints. Here's what I want to know from you. Is Brad Stevens making smart moves to preserve the Celtics' long-term future, or are we watching a championship team destroy itself trying to avoid luxury tax penalties? And do you think Cedric Coward could actually be a legitimate solution if Holiday gets traded, or is this just desperation disguised as strategy? Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole salary cap mess, and smash that like button if you think the NBA's financial rules are forcing too many championship teams to break up.